Alright people, here we go. We got another addition to the bike. We've got some Denali lights that we're adding. After this last trip of going to these various states, I learned a lot, and this is what we're gonna get out of the trip. What I learned was I need adequate lighting, and that's what we're gonna do. I kind of thought about the this Denali system, and that's what I went and purchased. I'll show you throughout the video what it is that I purchased. And I just was kind of like playing around with this idea about mounting the lights like that and this, that, and the other. So that's why I wanted to mount them. I gotta pretty much get them left and right and straight and all that good stuff. But this is just like a let's say like a a pre-game, so we can see where we want to fix them to and go from that route. So this is what I want to show you guys, pretty much how to set it up and go about it, because I didn't really see one on YouTube. There's one guy that has a maroon bike, and I saw that bike and I was like, man, I wish he would have gone through it in more detail. The diagram for Denali, it goes over more of a street glide than it does a road glide, but I'm going to consult with them to see if there's other things that I can do, because they have some technical stuff that you can do something with the passing lights on a street glide, but this one doesn't have the same setup. It has the two circular lights, like a fog light and then a driving light on the street glide, but we don't have that on the road glide. So anywho, I wanted to show you some of the stuff and basically how to set it up, and we'll go from there. But first things first, this is your CanSmart modular that you are going to run everything through. So the first step was to make sure you connect the CanSmart to the diagnostic port down here at the bottom. So let me show you what I did. Obviously I took these screws out. There's one here. Hold on, let me take it back. There's one right here, and there's another one on this side right here, and then it kind of pulls away. Let me pull back. It pulls away. So what I did was I took the CanSmart, the one that goes to your diagnostic thing, is right here. Let me see if I can get a little light on it. Get a little light on it. And this is the cord that goes to the CanSmart right there. So what I did was I ran it down here, if you can see where I'm pointing. And then if you can see this, right in this hole, you have the cord that connects your back lights to the I think that's the back lights. You have that has your back lights. It plugs into this one where my finger is. I don't know if you can see that, but I have it running down, and then there is a hold. There's a hole right in here, and you can run it right in that hole. So let me show you this. Once I ran it through the hole, I kind of ran it up and over, and then you unplug the gray one. That's your gray one, gray port, and then it has this little black. It has this black piece on it. So I unplugged the black piece, and then plug the CanSmart into it. And then what I did with the black plug is there's a fuse grabber right here. And then if you look at the back side of that black plug, let me see, black side. So what I did for the fuse plug, instead of doing that, I just took those two prongs, or those two little holes, and matched it right on top of the prongs. And it'll sit like that. So that is that. Then the next step, before you plug these in, make sure you take the fuse out of the fuse holder. Take it out. Is to run your two leads, which is this orange one. The orange one goes to the positive, which I have under here. I'm not taking that on loose. And then you have the brown wire that goes to your negative. Plug in your positive and your negative. Once you get that situated, then you're gonna put your fuse back inside the box, or the relay box, let's say. Then what I did was I got the CanSmart right here. I took the wire harness thing off. I routed my line just like this, and then I ran it up as far as I could as far as I could, and then I came back. I went under the harness and made another loop like this, and then I came back. Also, I put the leads for my lights. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes down and around. Let me turn on this one. So my lead for my light goes like this. It's on the back side. I'm just putting this up here just for giggles as of now. And then 2, 3. I ran it up here. I zip tied it here because this is still kind of like squirrely. And then it pops out. Let me see. It pops out right here. So my wire harness is here, and I put it on the bottom side of this. You can pull that up, and then I stuffed it down in, and now it comes out here. It connects right here. Trying to get situated. Anyways, it connects right here where my finger is, and then it looms down. So you got a brace across here. So I got it zip tied here. I've got it zip tied down this down tubing right before my crash bar. So I got it zip tied there. And then what I did right here was on my what do you call these? The fender spoilers or whatever they are. I have a some type of fastener here that keeps it attached to the bar so it doesn't wiggle all over the place. And then I came across here and I zip tied it on the bottom of the light right there. So that's what I did, and also did the same thing on the other side. Let me grab that. On this side I did the same thing. Let me cop a squat. Get out of the light. So I got the light here. Ran my wire down here. Zip tied it right at the bottom of the light. Then right before I went in this area, I zip tied it. All I'm doing is kind of just holding that there so it'll conform to the engine guard. So then on this side, it comes with one of these hard clamps, and I like that. I'll probably get more of those. Hard clamp. So I hard clamped it in with the clutch, I believe with the clutch, whatever that is. And then I zip tied it again on that bar that goes across, and then I plugged it in right here. And it all looks fairly clean. I like it. I just got to do a little align in my lights to make sure they're straight. They look all cattywampus, but I'm gonna go ahead and put all this back together. I guess from the factory they had some fabric tape on here. Where is it? They have fabric tape down here, fabric tape right across here, and they also have fabric tape somewhere else. I can't find my other zip tie, but here it is right here. Here it is right here. It goes under here. It goes in this area. So you got a fabric tape here, and then there's a normal zip tie right here. So that's what I did to kind of copy what they had. But either way, it had that fabric on it, and I know once they come in or try to do something like that, they'll probably claim you did something to it, to your harness. But you know, whatever. That's life. All right, man, we got that all zipped up, and then I'll bring you back once I put the tank on and make it look normal. So we'll go from there. All right, check it out. After installing it and thinking of some other things, I wanted to show you this, and I'll tell you what happened. Okay, in the book, let me grab it for you. In the manual for setting it up, it looks like this, right? Let me show you this. Let me show you. Looks like this. Okay, look. Here's a diagram of basically you setting up two different lights. So you've got, let's say you got the D4's here, and then you got something small down here. You follow? So that is two cords going back to the CanSmart. That's one diagram, okay? Now, let me show you what I'm trying to allude to. Okay, this is on the Harley Davidson. You've got it hooked up to whatever color that is. Let me see. I think that's yellow. Not sure. I think that's yellow. So you got the yellow one going up here to your passing lights. Let me go to the bike. So, what I did was, I did a dry run. I ran my yellow one, which is this one. I ran the yellow one all the way up and over and ran it over here to my passing lights. When I did the passing lights, none of the lights came on. And I have 3 lights. So I got this one down here as my turning signal. I got another one here as a turning signal right next to the light. And I've got the ones that go right here on the trimming. And none of those came on. Keep trying for you guys, but this is not working out for me and my benefit. At the moment, I'm trying to figure out how to get my side lights working. But I'm in a little debacle about what is the main harness. And I'm assuming that this one coming off of here is my main harness. So what I've done is I've taken this apart and plugged it into my Denali light, which comes from the module that's under the seat. But when I plug this into the main harness, none of my lights come on. The problem solving for that was once you put it on the diagnostic setting, it should be able to control it. But I'm only getting like 0.8 volts coming from the computer. So when I hook my Denali lights up to the main harness, nothing comes through my lights. But then when I plug the lights up to the main harness, everything comes on. So I'm assuming that this light, the secondary lights, can't control, like for instance, it can't control this light or the one that's on the side, or either the one that's on my windshield as well. So the only thing you really can control are the Denali lights on the crash bars, or engine guards as they call them. And that's what I wanted to try to hook up, but it won't allow that. So what I'm gonna do now is just show you some of the settings as to what you could do with the Denali lights. So far, that is the setup, just like that. We have the spotlights on the front, and then we got the fog light on the bottom. You have that little spotlight is very clear at the top, and then the fog light where it sprays the ray is all over the place. So here we go. So this is what the front of the bike looks like now. And let me turn her on. So that's what she looks like right now. Alright, now this is what I want to show you. So the right side over here, you have your emergency flasher. So just like you already know, emergency flasher, hit it, and that's what it looks like from the cockpit. Let me turn it off. And see, it goes from the 20% that I originally have it set to the 100. One more time. So that's 100% when it's flashing. And these are the actual Denali lights. Alright, turn it off, and then you can see that it dims back to the 20%. Alright, from the front. From the front. You got that right there. Press the button. And that's how it alternates between the headlights and the actual Denali lights. That's that. Alright, grab the camera, and then you can see it dim back down. Alright, next. So that's primarily everything on your right side. So we're good on the right side. When you press the passing light, let me show you. Come around. If you don't know, this is your passing light right here. You got the bright lights here. You got your passing light here. So you press this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And this is what it looks like from behind. So one more time. 1, 2, 3. And that's what it looks like. Give you 3 flashes. Now I'm going to put the camera in the front, and you can see what it looks like from, I guess, from another car's perspective. So there you go. And that is the passing light. Now, let me show you this. So you have the high beam indicator, which is the top one. So you push that up and it gets bright. So here we go. So back down to the low beam, and then when I press the button for the bright lights, that's my bright lights. Illuminate. Now, another thing. When you hit the horn, right here, you press the horn, it flashes automatically. So not only do you get the horn, but you also get the lights too. So here we go, from the driver perspective. Right there, there you go. And now let me put you back in the front of the bike. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Horn. Right there you go. That's what you get. That is loud as crap. You know, you can buy their horn and do what you got to do. So now let me show you the next feature. So during the daytime, this is what I call 20%. This is what it shines like during the daytime, and it's fairly low. I haven't had anybody say, hey, your lights are too bright, but I do like that perspective of the light, as well as, you know, when I'm coming in traffic, it is what it is. All right, here we go, moving. The next thing I want to show you is this module right here. You press the top on your trip meter, and you press it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and the lights go off. Let me show you again, and they're gonna come on. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Same thing, and now they illuminate. So you can see a faint yellow. So let me do it again. Let me show you from this perspective. Obviously, you can see that the lights are on, and I'm pressing the same thing, which is the trip meter. And go from there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and the lights go off. 1, 2, 3, and the lights come on. The best part about this, you guys probably can't see it, but from the perspective of you being the driver, when I had the white ones on, it was hard to determine as to whether the lights were on. But now when I sit behind and I have the yellow, this is called I think it's called yellow. A yellow something. I'm not sure. I got to check back with that. But this is called yellow. You have 3 different variations. You have a clear, a yellow, and you have an amber, which is more so orange. This is more yellow, and I like just the perspective. It kind of goes with my sliders on the end. But anywho, that is what it is. Now let me show you the next feature. So that's how you turn them on and off if you don't want them on, or if you want them off as well too. Here we go. Now here's another feature. Watch with your trip meter right here. You're gonna press and hold. So hold. And the lights will flash, telling you that you can do a dimming of the lights. So one more time. Let me show you from this perspective. Hold it down, and then your lights will flash. Be patient right there. Now you can go up with the intensity on the light. Hopefully you can see that. When it gets to the top, it'll turn off. So now it's off. So now you're going in tens. 1, 2, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right there, 100. And then it's going to go off. So I like it on 20. And that's the brightness that I get with just 20. Once you leave it, it'll just set at where you want it. Now let me tell you this. Whatever you configured it on the computer, that's what it's going to go back to. It's always going to reference what you put on the computer. So it'll be at 20% no matter what. But if you're having problems with intensity, people telling you your light's too bright, whatever case may be, you can do all that from the hand control. Let me show you from the front. Let me show you from the front. I'll hold it down. I just do 2 taps and then just hold it till it flashes. It just flashed. Then you got, well, I'm already on 20, so 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then it turns off. So here we go. I want it back at the 20. And then once you leave it right there, it'll program, it'll stay in until you turn the bike off. When you turn the bike off, it'll preset to what you arranged it on the computer. So those are all the options. Let me show you one more time. You got 3 taps on the passing light. 1, 2, 3. It flashes 3 times. And that's the 3rd time. You turn on your high beams, and now you have 100% on the fog lights. Then you press the horn. It flashes. As long as you hold down the horn, it flashes. And then lastly, on the tripometer tab up here, remember, hold for about 5 seconds. It says 2 seconds, but it is what it is. Once it flashes, then you can do adjustments. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 right there. Back to 0, 1, 2, 20%. And that's my routing. So I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, that way you have an idea as to what it does. And I like the whole concept of not having to have a toggle, and you don't have to drill anything to the point where everything seems out of norm. But it is what it is. It was a fairly easy setup as well too, so do what you got to do. Let me spin the camera back around. But as far as you can tell, all on my gauges here, there's nothing that's different. You know, nothing on my hand controls that look different. But at the end of the day, I just like this setup because it makes everything look normal. That's it. If you didn't know anything about the bike, you wouldn't even know how to turn it on unless I showed you. And that's what I like about it, the simplicity. I think the lights come with a 5-year guarantee. I really haven't had many people that I followed and got an idea about these things. Like, nobody said anything about problems with it. I don't know if you guys can tell right now, but it gives off a little flickering of the lights. To me, that's based on amperage. Once I crank the bike up and it's running at its normal charging level, it does not light flicker. So it is what it is. I like the look because when people look down the street, I see those yellow lights. And then if I really wanted to, I could turn them off, you know. So this is what I got for you. I'm presenting to you guys. These are the Denali lights, and these are the D4's. You know, there are different versions. There's one more step up above this, which is a brighter light as well too. You got more accessibility to get a spotlight down the road on the D7s. And I just like these because it was the 4 lights. It's something different. And based on the longevity of these and people giving their opinion about what the lights have done for them, I just like it. And after making that long trip to those 11 states in that northeastern corner, I do believe that I need some type of fog lights to be out there in some of these environments where it is foggy, where it is very dark, there is no city lights, and also too just to be able to be seen as well as see those things that could potentially be coming out of the bushes. So with that said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this little review, pretty much an install and what it offers to you. So until next time, I'll see you.